When you think of streaming, names like Kai Cenat, Aiden Ross, and ishowspeed come to mind. But what a lot of people don't know is that these three and many creators got their start from the WNL, or W community for short. A community that has basically changed the landscape of live streaming, getting its name from viewers typing the letters W to describe winning or L to describe losing in the chat during live streams and in comment sections. But where did a lot of these streamers originate from? How did they get famous? In this video, I would hope to give you the answers to these questions. Let's get into it. So this whole video is going to be based around a post in your Rage's community from a person by the name of Technician. He took a lot of time and a lot of effort. So I'm going to break it down. I'm going to add a few things and make a few changes and fixes and stuff like that and give some comments. I thought it would be a fun video to make. So shout out to him for making this. And another thing I do want to say, I don't want anyone to think it's a bad thing to be put on or influenced by another content creator, especially when many of the people on this list would agree with the people that helped them get their start. So I don't want y'all to think that it's like a bad thing for people to just show love to the people that put them on or gave them a start. You get what I'm saying? So that's all I gotta say with that. We're gonna really get into the video now. Now, first of all, we have these, I would say, markers that have two things that says put on and influence. You got green and you got blue. It's a lot of lines. Like I said earlier, it's a lot of lines, man. And it may get confusing. So we're just going to start with the 2K community side and start with Chris Move. Now, Chris Move, basically the godfather of the 2K community. That's what a lot of people would say. And he's influenced a lot of people in the 2K community to make 2K content. Chris Move is not the only person that has influenced people in the community, but he was one of the biggest and one of the ones to take it to a different level. So we got to give credit to Chris Move. Shout out to Chris Move. I definitely used to watch Chris Move when I was a kid, bro. They have names like Kel Hit 'Em Up, one of the biggest content creators in the 2K community around 2014, 2015, around that time. And I made a video about Kel Hit 'Em Up if you want to go watch that video, talking about his rise and what happened to him and stuff like that, why he stopped making videos and stuff like that. He still streams, by the way. Next, we got Los Polos, man. Los Polos is a pioneer of the WNL community. He had people spamming W's and L's in his chat and stuff like that, like around 2014, 15. A lot of y'all may say Rice Gum was doing that as well, but from what I've seen Los Polos doing that before almost anybody. Around the same time as somebody like flightreacts, who was basically called the walking L. He had W's around the time. People would say he was a walking W at one point, but for the most part around that time period, 2015, 16, people was calling him an L for losing all those 1v1s and different things like that. flightreacts for sure is one of the pioneers of the WNL community, for sure, bro. Cash Nasty as well. He is a big influence on, I would say, the IRL basketball part of the 2K community, because he used to do that IRL basketball stuff too, and Flight too. But I feel like Cash Nasty really doesn't get credit for that as far as like the 2K community, the IRL basketball in the 2K community. I'm not talking about outside of that. Pretty Boy Fredo obviously had one of the biggest blow ups in the 2K community for sure. Like outside of the 2K community as well, he's one of the biggest black YouTubers, I would say. Pretty Boy Fredo, definitely one of the biggest people that to ever come out of the 2K community. Lost and Unbound. He had a lot of good My League videos and stuff like that. A lot of people don't know Lost and Unbound and stuff like that, but shout out to him, bro. Stacks Montana, one of the biggest creators to come out of the community, work with 2K, stuff like that. Shout out to Stacks. I really didn't watch Stacks a lot, but I do know a lot about Stacks. I did see some of his videos and stuff like that, some of his catchphrases. Obviously, we know OSN, man. Yes, we did have beef. I think I would say I still got beef with the nigga, but like, I don't really got no real issues with him. He was one of the people that come out of the 2K community, got reactions and stuff going. You can obviously see he got influenced by Flight. I would say that I can agree with that. When Flight was going crazy with the reactions and stuff like that. I'm not going to say Flight was the only person that he was influenced by, but I think Flight played a big part in why he started reaction videos, because he saw Flight being successful with the 2K stuff when he was having the My Team stuff going on. I'm talking about OSN, and he had beef in the My Team community, and he moved on to reactions. He blew up from that. Next person, Bruce Drop Him Off. He's influenced by or put on by Cash Nasty. I don't really know about put on, because that's basically saying that like a nigga basically made your career, and I don't agree. Like, as much as I had issues with the nigga Bruce Drop Him Off, I'm not gonna say like Cash Nasty made the nigga. Like, that's kind of crazy. Next person is, you know, one of my goats, Solluminati. You feel what I'm saying, bro? Him and Flight, I would say 1 and 2 of my goats of YouTube, bro, for sure. Everybody know, man, I made so many videos about Solluminati, documenting his career on YouTube, his beef, stuff like that. I should see a lot of different lines coming from this guy. You feel what I'm saying? Maybe glazed, but I feel like a lot of people would agree with that. Now, as far as Chris Next Door, I'm sure Chris Next Door watched him because he was definitely his editor for like 1 or 2 videos. For him to be an editor, he would have to watch watch solluminati, you would have to like actually tune into his content. So I'm not gonna say he put him on, but I could definitely see him being influenced by solluminati. Now, your Rage for sure is influenced by solluminati. He used to be a flight plug channel and a solluminati plug channel. He influenced him and he put him on at the same time. Talking about the entire AMP. Agent Zero, I don't think he was really influenced by anybody himself. You get what I'm saying? But the entire AMP, if you move over here, as far as like, we're going to talk about RDC in this section right here soon. But just to finish off the 2K community, yes, I can see them being influenced by a group like RDC World and stuff like that. Now, I don't know if Agent ever said this in a video. I do think RDC coming up in the black YouTube space, Agent probably would have saw how they were built. I can't see that really being out of the realm of possibility that, you know, they were influenced by RDC. We're gonna come down to Annoying TV and his I guess web of people, right? Nation, right? So Annoying, I can say that Annoying, in a way, did he put on Silky? I would say he did, but Silky was featured in a lot of Adin Ross e-dates, so that's why you see the Adin Ross influence or the put on from Adin Ross, because you see the green line, that means put on. I could definitely agree with that. Silky definitely got a boost from those e-dates and stuff, because I think he did win one e-date with, who was it? Please let me know, yo. I'm chronically online, but I'm really not, if you get what I'm saying. Like, I really do not remember who was in that e-date. Zay, I didn't really watch Zay a lot. I don't know, did Zay start off playing 2K? I'm not sure, but Zay is a popular streamer doing the RP stuff, or from doing the RP stuff. Now he does like IRL and different shit like that. Now X, I don't really know if Annoying put on Zay or X. I didn't really watch any of them. Now Jew, I think Jew played Fortnite. A lot of these streamers were featured on his stream and stuff, but they lived in the same house as him. I guess you could say that's kind of like a help. I'm not saying that would be like a put on. He just gave them a space to grind their content. So I'm not gonna really say he put them on, but he definitely gave them a little bit of a push or help. Now, I think 2Hype is missing from the 2K community. Now, you can't add every single person that I'm saying. Like, I think 2Hype deserves to be here. You can't include everyone from here, it'd be a long list. I think they deserve to be here though. Him, Jesser, all these people help influence people in the 2K community and stuff like that. Troy Dan as well deserves to be here. I'm sure a lot of people would say that as well. I forgot to talk about ScumTK. Yes, obviously, Your Rage and ScumTK. Your Rage inspired ScumTK to start streaming. I'm Dante. Would I say I'm Dante was influenced by Your Rage, or Your Rage was influenced by I'm Dante? Is that true? Let me know. I think that may be true or may be false. I don't know, bro. I think both were influenced by each other, or I think Your Rage was influenced by I'm Dante. Somebody let me know that. That's what I think. Now, all right, let's get into Adin, because, bro, it's a lot, bro. You saw how many lines is coming from Adin all the way down here to all these creators and stuff like that. So, all right, Adin Ross, he put on Izzy Prime, I agree. Neon, I agree. Cuffham, I agree. Chibu, I agree. The E-Date era, I would say he featured Stable Ronaldo, but he started off on Fortnite, and I don't think it's wrong to say that Adin helped him stay relevant a bit by like putting him in streams and stuff, but Adin did not like put him on or make him or whatever. Since the new FaZe iteration, he has had good success without Adin Ross and without anybody else. Like, FaZe has helped each other, the new FaZe, whatever. We're gonna talk about them later on. But to say that Adin Ross put him on is kind of crazy, gang. Like, he was famous from Fortnite. Snaggy Hoes, I agree with that. Melt, I agree with that. Snaggy Mo, I would agree, but I do think that it should be a line going from Flight Reacts to Snaggy Mo, because Snaggy Mo used to play 2K with Flight all the time. I would not know who Snaggy Mo is without Flight. I'm gonna be honest. Paryeet, I agree. Now, with Speed, did Adin Ross influence Speed? He did feature Speed when Speed did blow up. But I think without knowing Adin, I think Speed's career trajectory is the exact same. He's just a generational talent. He would have found a way to blow up. It would have just panned out for him regardless. Now, as far as DDG influencing Speed, you can see the line going from Speed to DDG. I agree, because Speed did say that. Actually, no, that's DDG actually. I think DDG influenced Kai Cenat. Kai Cenat did say he watched DDG. So I would say I agree with that. Now, as far as Kai Cenat with the Clover Boys, where Kai definitely. Talil, was Talil put on by Kai? I'm not really sure, but I'm just gonna say I agree. Did he influence Ray? I would say yes, and he put him on. Hunga, I would say he put him on. I would say Dez, he put him on. I would say Reggie, he put him on. I can agree with this section for sure. Now, Playboy Max, who was he influenced by or put on by? Was he put on by Chris Next Door? I don't agree. No, I definitely don't. Playboy Max and Chris Next Door, they did collab in 2022, and they've been cool like a little bit before then, but I believe Max's initial buzz came from TikTok when he was doing like judging people's music tastes and posting his clips on TikTok just from his streams and stuff. He took that success and ran with it. Some people even remember him from his old channel Basement Boys as well, so I'm not gonna say Chris Next Door put on Blackboy Max. Like, I'm not gonna agree with that. I think he was influenced by Bruce Japamoff. He did say he used to watch him, and you can see by his earlier streams and how things were set up that he definitely had a little bit of a Bruce Japamoff like influence or vibe or whatever. But I'm not gonna say he acted like Bruce Japamoff. I'm gonna say that how everything was built. I would say how he had his stream set up and stuff like that. Now he on his own little wave now for sure. The new phase, I think Lacey, was he influenced by Aiden? Yes, he definitely used to watch Aiden. Jason the Ween, I would say, yeah, the new phase. Was Jason influenced by anybody? I don't really know. Maybe he watched some streamers. I didn't really watch Jason and stuff. I don't really keep up with him. Now with that being here, it's kind of crazy. He is part of the new phase though. He is part of the new phase, but he's literally a part of the old phase as well. Like, the nigga been in phase since the inception of phase. And like, just for category wise, yes, it makes sense. But to say that he's just new phase itself, like, no, like, he's old phase as well. K-San, I think he belongs in here as well. He influenced the new phase. Definitely, it should be a line going from your rage to here because he had say on who was going to be in here in the new phase and stuff like that. Let's talk about Zeus and B-Lou. They are definitely by themselves. They definitely deserve to be in the WNL community because they reacted to stuff in the WNL community like DDG songs, Flight songs. They had like situations with Flight. They collabed with Flight. Zeus had beef with solluminati. So let's talk about that as well. For him to beef with somebody in the WNL community, the communities are going to spill over. Now, Gideon, was he influenced by the vlog era, mainly Pootie? Is there a video or a clip of Gideon saying that? Maybe somebody let me know. Now let's talk about DDG. DDG influenced a lot of these people. I can definitely agree. McQueen, for example, I think he featured McQueen in a lot of his videos and stuff like that. I don't know if he taught him how to do vlogs and stuff, but I'm sure a lot of people saw DDG and follow suit. Chino Alpha Wolf. Do I remember Chino Alpha Wolf? Somebody let me know who that is. Like, please. I really don't know. Like, I'm blanking. Clarence NYC. I can agree with that. Where is I don't see Chris here. I don't see Chris Sells here. I don't know why Chris Sells is not here. Tyler Guy, I agree with that. Young Shark, I don't know who that is. Somebody let me know who that is. Maybe I'm not cultured. I wasn't a big DDG watcher. All the DDG fans, DDG squad, let me know. Deshae Frost, I can say I agree with that. Quan, for sure. I think Quan said DDG was one of his favorite YouTubers. Jay Cinco, I didn't really watch Jay Cinco or don't really watch Jay Cinco. If it's saying that, you know, he influenced these people, he's around DDG a lot. Dub, I can agree with that. TT, I can agree with that. Queen Naja, maybe I can agree with that. I didn't really watch Chris or Queen, I'm gonna be honest. CJ So Cool, same thing with CJ So Cool. He influenced a lot of these people. I'm not gonna say every single person here, like that's kind of crazy to say that, but he was one of the biggest vlog family couple type of, you know what I'm saying, YouTubers and stuff, like literally the biggest. Like the nigga has 7-8 million subscribers. I wouldn't say it would be out of the realm of possibility of him influencing some of these people to a small degree. CJ did get influenced by Jinx, his brother. He did get put on by Jinx, so I think Jinx should be here. So let's talk about RDC and some bros. RDC and some bros, they're not WNL. They're mainly black YouTube, but for this video, I'm gonna make an exception. The WNL community obviously originated from the 2K community, mainly people like Los Polos, Flight, and solluminati, who had people like typing in their live streams in their chat saying WNL and stuff like that. Fans of the creators who shared the communities adopted this same thing, so that's why I'll make this exception. And I don't think I'm Dante got put on by Berleezy. I'm not sure that's correct. I think Dante was doing his own thing. He was doing like reactions and different stuff like that and other content. I remember he was beefing with Blasphemous HD, one of my goats, honestly. We're gonna talk about RDC. I don't think Mark put on all these people. I think that Mark and F started RDC. A lot of them were added to the group after. I'm not gonna say he put them on. They were all a group together. Like, that's kind of crazy to say that, like, he put them on and shit like that. Now, as far as these lines going from this side, like Dylan and Krista, is that correct? Somebody let me know. Like I said earlier, RDC did influence AMP. Okay, one last person that I believe should be added to this list. The first person we're going to talk about is Nadex. I think Nadex should be in this 2K community spot. He definitely did put Aiden on technically because he was playing with Aiden on 2K20, 2K19, I believe. They were in Xbox parties and shit, doing wagers and stuff like that. And that's where a lot of people first heard of Aiden Ross from, Nadex, you feel me? Now, another person that I think should be 100%, 1000% added is Rice Gum. Now, Rice Gum should be on this list just from the very fact that he's not specifically WNL, but he influenced many people in the community, like Aiden Ross in particular. Rice Gum has arguably the largest influence on girl content that you see today, like niggas collabing with females or women. And that stream where Aiden like collab with Corinna in 2021, where Aiden initially got his blow up, I feel like that gave me Rice Gum vibes, like for sure, it definitely did. And let's not forget his influence on Diss God as a creator and DDG when it came to diss tracks. I think Rice Gum for sure deserves to be on his list. DDG did carve out his own path, like content creation wise, but he talks about Rice Gum being an influence on diss tracks and shit like that.
Was the diss track era inspired by Rice Gum at all?
For sure,
Because
100%.
Rice was going dumb.
Right, Rice Gum is an underrated GOAT. He really changed YouTube for real. I made a diss track about Rice Gum as a fan. Rice Gum is definitely like a game changer.
Now I think I forgot to talk about your rage influencing Kai Cenat to stream and stuff like that. I think it should be a line that, you know what I'm saying, goes from your rage to Kai Cenat, but I think that's the last thing that we're missing. For this video, I hope you enjoyed, man. Give y'all a quick little history lesson, man. This is what my channel was basically based around. I have knowledge about a lot of shit, but a lot of shit do be like blanking from my mind. I ain't gonna cap. But let me know what you guys think about this, man. Let me know what you'll add and remove, man. That's all I gotta say about this video. Hope you enjoyed. It's Fargo, and I'm out.